good evening, Mr. Kolo. I can see you. Mr. Makenwa, Mr. David, Mr. Papi, Mr. Said. You all are welcome to today's session. Hope you had a great day. If there's any pair you want us to analyze, please drop it in the comment section. Drop it in the comment section. So let's go straight to business. So start by looking at dollar index. Dollar index is used to determine the strength of the dollar. Okay, if dollar index is bullish, you expect currency pairs that has USD as counter to go bearish. I hope you get that. If dollar is bullish, you should expect pairs that has US dollar as the counter currency to go bearish. And if the dollar index is bearish, you should expect pairs that has USD as the counter to go bullish. Okay, so we'll start by looking at the US dollar. Now, is it a must that you look at the dollar index before analyzing currency pairs? It isn't a must, okay? It is not a must, but it's just necessary that you know the strength of the dollar. It is not a must. Years back, I traded without looking at the dollar index and I was still profitable. So if you back tested your strategy, if you have the data, you can do without dollar index, okay? So it's not a must. But so let's look at the charts to know if dollar is bullish or bearish. So that's the first thing you should look at before you analyze currency pairs. You should also look at the fundamentals, okay? The fundamental is a major driver of the market. So you need to know when major news will be released so that you know how to position yourself, okay? So what do we have on dollar index? Okay, so as you can see, we are on the monthly chart. So far this month, dollar index has been bullish. You can see it has been bullish. And if you check pairs that have dollar as the counter, you will see that they've been bearish. GBP USD has been bearish. New Zealand USD has been bearish. Euro USD has been bearish. Australian dollar USD also has been bearish. That is because dollar index is bullish. Okay. Now on dollar index, you can see we have a fair value gap here on the monthly time frame. Okay, so it is likely price want to go up there to fill that gap. Okay, to want to reprice to fill this fair value gap. Okay, it might want to fill this gap before going bearish. Okay, but let's go down to, let's see how last weekend closed. Okay, so you could see last weekend closed as a shooting star. Can you see that? It closed as a shooting star, which indicates change in trend from bullish to bearish. But the body of this shooting star is bullish. So we cannot conclude that the trend has changed from bullish to bearish because the body of this shooting star, or some will call it spinning top, is bullish. For us to confirm that we have more sellers in the market, we need to wait for the next candle to close bearish. I hope you're following. We need to wait for the next candle to close bearish before we conclude that DXY is bearish. Are you with me? But after the formation of this past week candle. If we go down to the next lower time frame, which is daily, if we can find a bearish reversal pattern on the daily time frame, we could risk, going bearish on DXY. Are you with me? So let's go down. The same pattern we are waiting to see or to have on the weekly time frame. If we can find that pattern on daily time frame, we can risk selling. We can risk going bearish on DXY. Okay, so let's go down to daily. Okay, so you can see on the daily time frame, what we have here is a bearish reversal pattern, right? What we have here is a bearish reversal pattern. We had a spinning top that was on Tuesday. But yeah, on Tuesday we had a spinning top, and the next bearish candle, the next candle closed bearish below the low of this spinning top. Okay, this tells us that the bears are showing up in the market and there's a high probability for price to go bearish. But as you can see, a support was created. That was on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. We had a support at this point. Okay, so before we go bearish on DXY, we want to be sure that this support is cleared, is broken. So we have to wait for a bearish candle to close below the support before we go bearish on DXY. I hope you are following. This support must be broken. Okay. Also, if we go back here, you would see that we had a fair value gap here. You can see the gap in between the low of this shooting star and the high of this bearish candle. Okay, so we had a fair value gap. And you can see that gap has been filled. Can you see? This gap has been filled. So there's a high probability that price will pull back or reprice to fill an imbalance was created here. You can see this imbalance, this fair value gap that was created here. So before DXY will go bullish, it is likely going to come and fill this fair value gap. Are you with me? It is likely going to come fill this fair value gap. So what we need to wait for before we go bearish on DXY is to wait for a candle to close below this level. So if a candle closes below this level, then we can go bullish on GBP USD, Australian dollar USD, New Zealand USD, and NZD USD. We can go bullish on those pairs because the dollar is the counter. And since dollar is losing value, that is if a candle closes below this support. If dollar starts losing value, then we expect those pairs to go bullish. So that is my take on the dollar. I want to see price pull back to this fair value gap. Okay, so at this zone, I would not consider buying DXY, going bullish on DXY. Okay, so that's my take on DXY. I expect DXY to be bearish this week. And as you can see on the daily, a resistance was created here. If this resistance is broken, if a candle closes above this zone, above this level, then we should expect more bullish move on DXY. Are you with me? So dollar would gain value if this high of this spinning top is cleared. I hope you get me. So these are the two things that is likely going to play out this coming week. It's either the high is cleared or price pulls back to a discount, okay, a discount level before going bullish. That's my expectation on DXY. So let's check the calendar. I hope that is clear. A few minutes, please. Patience, please. The Zoom app on PC is hanging, it's freezing. Just be patient. It's very important that you check the calendar so that you know when major news will be released. Even if you're a technical trader, if you see a good setup on the charts and you went ahead to execute the trade, and later on the trade went against you, you made a loss on that trade. It could be that a major news was released. That was why you lost the trade. And that's why it's very important you know when the major news will be released. So even if your good setup, that your good trade setup didn't go the way you expected it, you would know that, okay, the reason I lost this trade was because a major news was released. That is why you need to know the major news, the days that the major news will be released. Okay? It will not be okay for you to lose a trade without knowing the reason. Okay? So be aware of the major news that will be released, the days. So Sunday, no news. On Monday, this is from China. Okay, not a major news, a low impact news, medium impact news. Then Euro by 4:30 p.m. Yeah, 4:30 p.m. Nigerian time. ECB, that is Europe Central Bank President Lagarde speaks. Okay, and this species from the president of central banks play a major role in the markets. Okay, then on Tuesday, you see we have several major news that will be released for Euro on Tuesday between 8:15 and 9 a.m. Several major news. So you might want, for those of you who are considering trading Euro pairs this week, we should expect high volatility on Tuesday. So we might not see much volatility on Monday because it's just one medium impact news that will be released. So you might just want to wait for Tuesday before you execute your trades. Okay? If you're trading on Monday, you should be more conservative on Monday. Okay? Then on Tuesday, we're expecting two major news from the United States. Then from Britain, we're expecting two major news. So you can see GBP flashing, manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI, USD also flash, manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI. So I think GBP USD would be a good pair to trade on Tuesday. Okay, so what you need to do is wait for US news to be released, then compare GBP data with US dollar. Okay, if GBP is negative and the dollar is positive, then you would expect dollar to gain value. Are you with me? If the news is negative since it's the same news, flash manufacturing and flash services. So if it is negative for the pound and positive for the USD, then USD will gain value. So you should consider selling GBP USD. I hope you get that. but if both are positive, price might go in a range. Okay, so all you need to look out for is just your technical setup. Just look out for your technical setup. Okay, if both are positive. Then on Wednesday, we have Australian dollar, 2:30 a.m. Nigerian time, CPI, which is a major news. Okay, so if you're trading Australian dollar pairs, you might have to wait for this major news to be released before you trade Australian dollar pairs. But you can still go ahead and trade on Monday and Tuesday if you have your technical setup. Okay. Sometimes you need to position yourself before the major news is released. Because if you wait sometimes for the major news to be released, you might not have the opportunity to hop into the trade. So sometimes you need to position yourself before the news is released. So let's say you're trading with 0.1 lot size. You can go in with 0.05 before the news is released. If after the news is released, the news is positive for Australian dollar, you can open more trades. Okay. So on Thursday also, we're expecting major news from the United States, advanced GDP. As you know, that is a major news, and also unemployment claims, major news. So this week will be a very volatile week. The market will be very volatile this week. Then on Friday, JPY news. So on Friday, we should expect more volatility on JPY news, and also the United States. We're expecting two major news from the United States. Okay, so please put this into consideration as you trade this week. Okay, so let's go to the charts. Let's go to chart. Okay, so let's start with Australian dollar USD. Let's start with the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, what do we have? Last weekend it closed bearish, right? It closed bearish. After the close of last weekend, so what can we see here on the weekly time frame? We can see that price tested, right? Okay, tested this support zone, or you call it your demand zone. Price tested this zone, and there was a strong rejection from that zone. Okay. You would also notice that liquidity was cleared at this previous low. Liquidity was cleared here at this previous low. Okay, we could also say there was a shift in market structure at this point. Now, after a shift in market structure, price is expected to pull back to fill a fair value gap that was created, right? So let's go down to daily and see the pattern we have on daily time frame. If it's a bullish pattern, then we should expect price to pull back to fill a fair value gap. Okay, so let's go to daily and see the pattern we have on. So what do you do? Identify supports, okay, or resistance on the higher time frame. The weekly time frame is our higher time frame, right? Also identify that liquidity was cleared on the higher time frame, okay, before you go down to the lower time frame. Then let's go down to daily. So you can see the pattern we have on a daily. Last Friday, candle closed as a doji, and a doji indicates change in trend from bearish to bullish, right? So if you also go back here, you would see that we had a fair value gap here. There was a fair value gap that was created here. So it could be that price had to pull back to fill this fair value gap. Okay, you can see this fair value gap. So it could be that price pulled back to fill this gap. You can see that gap has been filled. Can you see that? And what we have is a bullish reversal pattern. So going by my strategy, I should consider buying Australian dollar USD. It meets all my trading rules. Okay, so I should consider buying Australian dollar USD. So after that, we go down to the next lower time frame. I shared my strategy on the last, was it 2 weeks ago? During the free Zoom session we had, 5-day Zoom session. The replay is still available. For those who have not gotten it, you can request for the replay just for 5,000 Naira. You have access to the replay. Okay. Those who participated, I gave them access for just 3,500, but now it is 5,000 Naira. And if you want to join my VIP group, you pay 10,000 Naira. Last week, I gave access for just 5,000 Naira. Okay, so so we had a doji here. So let's go down to 4 hour. I want to see a bullish reversal pattern on 4 hour. Okay, a bullish reversal pattern on 4 hour. So let's go to 4 hour. Okay, so you can see what we have here is a bullish reversal pattern. Liquidity was cleared at this previous low. And you can see the pattern we had here. This is an hammer, bearish hammer. The next candle has closed bullish above the high of this hammer. Okay, so that's a confirmation for me to buy or to go long on Australian dollar USD. Now, after the formation of this hammer, as you can see, I'm sharing my strategy with you guys. So it's not a must that you get the replay. But I just believe, you know, as I say, repetition is a lot of deep and lasting impression. So you might just have the video so that you can watch it over and over again so that you can master the strategy. So you can see after the formation of this hammer, I believe a fair value gap was created on a lower time frame. It could be 1 hour or 15 minutes. I like to identify those fair value gap to know where my stop loss would be. Okay, I like to identify those fair value gap because there's a high probability that price will want to fill those gaps before going bullish. So I would ensure that my stop loss is below those fair value gaps. Okay, so let's go to 1 hour. So you can see on 1 hour, this is the fair value gap that was created on 1 hour time frame. So I want to see the price pull back to fill this fair value gap before going bullish on Australian dollar USD. Because if I calculate the risk, if I decide to buy from this point, okay, my stop loss will be at this level. I like to set my stop loss 10-15 pips below this low. So if I'm to take this trade from the current market price, my stop loss will be around 65 pips. And as you know, I don't like taking risk above 50 pips. The market risk should not exceed 50 pips. So if I had 10 to this, that would be 65 pips, which is too high. So I would have to wait for price to pull back to this zone before I consider buying. I hope you get that. So that's my take on Australian dollar USD. And if you look at Euro USD, GBP USD, New Zealand USD, we'll find similar pattern on those pairs. So let's look at GBP USD. So we'll start with the weekly time frame. GBP USD was strongly bearish last week. So on the weekly time frame, I want to confirm liquidity was cleared or price is at a support level. You can see liquidity was cleared, right? At this point, we could also see there was a shift in market structure at this point. And after a shift in market structure, price is expected to pull back. For those who trade resistance and support, this will be a break from a support. And after a break from a support, price is expected to go test that support, which has become a resistance, right? So to those who trade resistance and support, this will be a break and retest, right? Yeah, that will be a break and retest. So we want to see price pull back and test this support, which has become a resistance level. Also, a fair value gap was created after this breakout from this support. Okay, we would also see that price is currently sitting at a previous demand zone. Can you see this? Price is currently sitting on that zone. Okay, so next is to go down to lower time frame. We want to be sure we have a bullish reversal pattern on daily. Let's go to daily. Okay, so on daily, it's closed strongly bearish. Can you see that? And on daily, we had a fair value gap here. Can you see this fair value gap? Okay, so price just entered into that gap. It has not been filled. So it's likely price will fill this gap before going bullish. So before we consider buying GBP/USD, you know what we're looking out for? A bullish reversal pattern. We don't have that yet on the daily time frame, right? We don't have it. It is still bearish on the daily time frame. So we can't jump in and start buying until we see a bullish reversal pattern. If we apply Fibonacci on this range, you can see price is currently at discounts. Okay, so what we need to look out for is a bullish reversal pattern to form on the daily time frame or 4-hour time frame. It could even be on 1-hour time frame before we go bullish on GBP/USD, sorry. So let's go down to 4-hour. Let's see what we have on 4-hour. You can see everything is still bearish on GU. You can see we don't have a bullish reversal pattern on GU. Liquidity has been cleared at this previous low, so we need to wait for a bullish reversal pattern to form before we go bullish. Okay, so GBP/USD is still bearish at the moment. If you want to buy, wait for a bullish reversal pattern to form before you go bullish. That's my take on GU. GU is still bearish. Okay, let's move to the next pair. We've looked at Euro/USD. Okay, let's look at Euro/USD. So let's start with the weekly. Okay, so on Euro/USD, see how last week candle closed as a spinning bottom, a bullish spinning bottom. This is an indication that we have buyers in the market and there's a high probability for price to go bullish. There was a break of support, right? We had a demand zone here, which is now a supply zone. So after a breakout from this support, I see students will see this as a shift in market structure, right? So after a shift in market structure, we want to see price pull back to fill the fair value gap that was created after this breakout. For those who trade support and resistance, this is a break and retest, break from support. We want to see price retest this supply zone before going bearish. Okay, so let's go down to daily to identify. You can see a fair value gap was created here. If you don't know how to identify fair value gap, just apply your Fibonacci tool, take it from this swing high to this swing low, wait for price to pull back to premium, which is above level 50 before you go bearish. Okay, so with the pattern we have on Euro/USD daily time frame, this is a bullish pattern. As you can see, we had this was an inverted hammer, right? Bearish inverted hammer. After a bearish inverted hammer is formed, we should wait for the next candle to close bullish. What happened here? The next candle closed as a spinning bottom, bearish spinning bottom, and this candle closed as a bullish candle. So this is what confirms that we have buyers in the market and we should consider going bullish. Okay, so I believe after the formation of this bullish candle, a fair value gap was created, I think, and that is the reason price had to pull back to fill that value gap. Let's confirm that on lower time frame. Let's go to 4 hours. Okay. Let's check 15 minutes. I know if your value gap was created. That was why price had to pull back. Let's confirm on lower time frame. Okay. Still can't find here. Let's go to 15 minutes. As you know, this is an order block. Okay, this is an order block. This is an order block, which is one of the 7 reference points of the institution's order block. Okay, so but I'm sure if your value gap was created, I'm sure. Let's go down to 15 minutes. We must find on 15 minutes. I'm sure of that. So you can see on 15 minutes, I'm sure a fair value gap was created. Can you see on 15 minutes the fair value gap that was created? Yeah. You see, I know a fair value gap was created. So that was the reason price had to pull back before going bullish. Can you see that? So can you see the fair value gap that was created? Okay. And on 15 minutes, this will be the order block on 15 minutes. The last bearish candlestick that forms before the impulse move. Okay, so this will be the order block of 15 minutes. So price came to test the order block, also filled the fair value gap. Okay, so that is it for Euro USD. The pattern on Euro USD is bullish. Okay, daily and 4 hour is bullish. So we expect the daily and 4 hour pattern to play out before the weekly pattern will play out, or the monthly pattern, which is bearish. Okay. Next is gold. If there's any instrument you want us to analyze, please drop it in the comment section. Okay, we'll look at Euro USD, GBP USD. Okay, gold. Let's look at gold. US 100. I don't trade US 100, but I'll try look at it. Okay, just apply the same strategy on US 30, US 100. Whatever instrument you're trading, you can apply the same strategy. Okay, you can apply the same strategy. So that's a request from Mr. Papi. Says we should look at Euro USD, gold, and GBP USD. We've looked at Euro USD and GBP USD. Okay, let's look at gold. I think that will be all for tonight's session. If there's any instruments you want us to analyze, drop it in the comment section. If you have any questions on risk management, on trading plan, on strategy, drop it in the comment section. Okay, Euro JPY. Okay, we'll look at Euro JPY too. So on gold, weekly charts, on gold, it is obvious that gold is still bullish. Gold is still bullish. 2 weeks ago, the candle closed as a shooting star, right? The candle closed as a shooting star, which indicates change in trend from bullish to bearish. But because the body of the candle is bullish, we can't just jump in and start selling. Okay, so and last week candle closed as a bullish, we can call this a spinning top, right? But because the body is bullish, we can't just jump in and start selling. Okay, so gold is still bullish, going by the weekly candlestick pattern. Now let's go down to daily and see what we have on daily. If you attended last week weekly market outlook session, I told you a support was created several weeks ago, and I would only consider selling gold if the support is broken, if the support is cleared. And you can see price is still above the support. You can see what happened when price tested that support level. There was a strong rejection from that level. You can see that. So with what we have here, gold is still bullish. It is likely gold would clear liquidity. They will push price up to clear liquidity. There's a high probability they will clear liquidity before going bearish. So that's my expectation on gold this week. Okay, that's my expectation on gold this week. Now let's see how last Friday candle closed as a shooting star, right? It closed as a shooting star, which indicates change in trend from bullish to bearish, right? So let's go down to 4 hours to see the pattern we have on 4-hour time frame. So you can see the pattern we have on 4 hour, right? After the close of let me go back to daily. After the close of last Friday candle, let's go to the 4 hour. So look at the pattern we have on the 4 hour. Okay, so this is the pattern we have on 4 hour. At this point, you can see we had a support. Can you see that? We had a support. We had a support. We had a support at this point, right? We had a support at this point. It was a support. If you go back here, you would see it was also a support. So what happened when price tested that support? What happened? You can see there was a strong rejection from that support. If this bearish candlestick had closed below the low of this bullish candle, one would have considered going bearish. But the fact that this candle didn't close below the low of this bullish candle, that tells me that we still have buyers in the market. We have traders who are willing to buy gold. That is why the bears could not push price or close price below the low of this bullish candle. So this tells me that we still have buyers in the market. You can see what formed at this support zone, this demand zone. We had a spinning bottom, a bearish spinning bottom, and the next candlestick closed bullish above the high of this spinning bottom. This tells me that there are more bulls than bears. Okay, this tells me there are more bulls than bears. So we should be considering buying. But if this support is broken, remember when we're on the daily, I said this support, but the support has been created on on 4 hour. So you might want to consider selling if a candle closes below this support. You might want to consider selling. Okay, you don't have to wait for it to get to the daily. So if you are selling below this support, then your next target or your first TP will be the daily support. Okay, but right now the bulls are still in control. You cannot sell with this pattern. Okay, you can't sell with this pattern on 4 hour time frame. So my expectation is that this coming week that gold will hit this level, which is about 417 pips from the current market price. Let's see what we have on 1 hour time frame. I took some trades on gold last week. I was bullish. Okay, I was bullish on gold, though I took 2 trades went against me, and the third one was profit. I executed 3 trades on gold because I was expecting it to go bullish. The first one, it's my stop loss. The second one too. But the third one, I was able to make some good profits to recover the losses I made on the previous trades. Mr. Papi, why are you using annotation? Please stop it. Mr. Papi, stop drawing on the charts, please. Okay, so you can see what we have here on 1 hour. Okay, I believe there was a shift in market structure here. Okay, a shift in market structure. So this is a bullish setup. If you go to 15 minutes, you'll see it clearly. You see it clearly on 15 minutes. The structure we have here on 15 minutes is a bullish structure. It's a bullish structure. Okay, so that's my take on gold. I'm bullish on gold this week. I would only consider going bearish if the support on 4 hour is broken. Okay, so if a candle closes below the support, I want to see price pull back to fill the fair value gap that will be created after the breakout from the support, or price should retest that support which has become a resistance. That is when I will consider going bearish on gold. But right now, my bias on gold is bullish. It is bullish. I hope that is clear. Do I have US 100 here? I'm not sure. New charts. US 100. Few minutes, please. If you're interested in a broker that offers swap-free accounts, I would recommend Cabana Capitals. That's the broker I trade with. If you're in Nigeria, this is one broker you should consider having an account with. Okay, swap-free. They also have office in Lagos. If you have any challenge, you can always come to the office. Okay. Few minutes, please. US 100. I don't think I have it on this chart. I don't think I have it. Okay, I think it's the same with NAS 100, right? Okay, it's the same with NAS 100. Am I right? Right, I think that's another name for US 100. Am I right? Mr. Who requested for US 100? Mr. Julius. I think another name for US 100 is NAS, right? NAS 100, right? Am I correct? Mr. Julius, Are you still on this call? Am I correct? Okay. Okay, that's 100. Okay, it's the same as US 100. Okay, so from the weekly, you can see last week was strongly bearish. We had a support here. If I'm to trade NAS 100, I wouldn't be considering selling. I wouldn't be considering selling. There was a break of support. I would expect that price will pull back to this support, which has become a resistance. This is the area I would consider selling if I want to sell. Okay. You could also apply your Fibonacci, take it from this swing high to this swing low. So price is currently at a discount. We should see price pull back to premium before we consider selling. Okay. If you look at the structure on the weekly, it's a bullish structure. This is a bullish structure. Okay. Also, if we apply Fibonacci on this previous range, I think price is at discount, right? It's below level 50. So if we see a bullish reversal pattern form on 4-hour or daily time frame, it's best you go bullish. If you are considering selling, wait for price to pull back. You cannot sell at this price. Okay, this would have been the best time to sell. After the formation of this bearish spinning top, you should have entered sell. If you had not entered sell at this point, you'd have sold at this point. If you had not entered sell after the close of this bearish candle, then you should have sold from this point. You cannot sell at this point. If you sell at this point, there's a high probability that they will go for your stop loss before price will go bearish. And if you are selling from this current market price, this is where your stop loss would be. Okay, this is where your stop loss would be. So calculate the risk. If you are comfortable with the risk, you can go ahead and execute the trade. It's about I think 1,000 plus pips or 14,000 plus pips. So if you are okay with this kind of risk, then you can sell. Okay, but setting your stop loss below this level is at a higher risk. Okay, it's at a higher risk. So if you are considering selling, wait for price to pull back. Personally, I would be trading the pullback. So I want to see a bullish reversal pattern form on lower time frame. You can see liquidity has been cleared at this previous low and also at this previous low. Okay, so I need to wait for a bullish reversal pattern to form on 4-hour. Let's see what we have on 4-hour. Okay, still bearish. Okay, liquidity has been cleared at this low. So let me apply the vertical line. Okay, let's go to 1 hour. So on 1 hour, this is a spinning bottom, a bullish spinning bottom, which indicates change in trend. Okay, liquidity has been cleared at this point. Okay, so this is a bullish pattern. You should go bullish. Okay, I want to take any trade on US 100. It will be buy for now. For now, it will be buy. It will be buy. So that's my take on US 30. You cannot sell at the current market price. It's too risky to sell. It's too risky to sell. I hope that's clear. So the last instrument, someone said we should look at Euro JPY. Okay, whatever our bias on Euro JPY is, we can apply it on GJ, UJ. They are positively correlated. Okay, so going by how last week candle close, strong indication that the buyers are still in control. We had a zone here, a resistance zone that was broken last week. Strong indication. For the past 4-5 weeks now, you can see Euro JPY has been in a range on the weekly time frame. Okay, a ranging market on the weekly time frame doesn't mean you can't find some good setup on lower time frame. 1 minute, 15 minutes, 1 hour, we'll still see some trending moves on those time frames. Okay, but on the weekly, it has been ranging. So if it's been ranging on the weekly time frame, if you are trading on 1 hour, 15 minutes, you know that you're not going for much pips, right? You won't go for much pips because it's ranging on the weekly time frame. So let's go down to daily. So daily, you can see how daily candle close. So the bulls are still in control. They are still in control on Euro JPY. The bulls are still in control. Let's check for hour. Personally, I wouldn't buy GJ at the current market price. I can't. I want to see price pull back before going bullish on GJ. GJ has been bullish since 2020. You can see it's been bullish. Okay, it's been bullish. And for some weeks now, it's been bullish. So I want to see price pull back before I will go bullish. So if I want to take any trade on Euro JPY this week, it will be sell. It will be sell. I want to trade a pullback. Okay, so let's see for hour. Okay, then let's go to 1 hour. So everything looks like EJ is in a range. Okay, looks like EJ is in a range. But if I want to take any risk on EJ, it will be sell. Okay, if I want to take any risk on EJ, it will be sell. As you can see on 1 hour time frame, liquidity has been cleared this previous high. What pattern do we have after the liquidity has been cleared? On 1 hour, we had a spiny top, bullish spiny top. We had a shooting star and an engulfing candle. Okay, an engulfing candle indicating change in trend from bullish to bearish. If we apply what was it called? Fibonacci from this point, we want to see price pull back, okay, to a discount. Okay, so we had an engulfing pattern here. Now, after the formation of this engulfing pattern on 1 hour time frame, I believe a fair value gap was created, and it's likely price wants to go fill that fair value gap before going bearish. So let's go down to 15 minutes. So you can see on 15 minutes, a fair value gap was created here. So I want to see price come fill this gap before I go bearish on Euro JPY. It's either price comes to fill this gap for me to sell, or this support. You can see it's a key level. It's a demand zone. Okay. I want to wait for price to pull back, fill this gap before I sell, or pulls back or breaks this support. So those are the two areas I will consider selling Euro JPY. Price should break this support or pull back, fill this gap before going bearish. And I'll be aiming for, you can see my TP will be, there's a fair value gap that will set here. Okay, so this is the area I will set my first TP on Euro JPY. I hope that is clear. And that will be all for tonight's session if there are no questions. If you have any question, you can just raise your hand up. Let me unmute you. I'm going to take 1 or 2 questions. I just raise your hand up so that I can unmute you. Any question? I appreciate you all for your participation, Mr. Said, Mr. Evans, Mr. Jeremiah, Mr. Julius, Mr. Makinwa, Mr. David, Mr. Jovi. Any question from you guys? Any question? Any question? Any question? Okay, none from Mr. Makinwa, none from Mr. David. Okay. The Zoom session was supposed to be for the VIP students only, but I made it open today Okay, I made it open for all today. Our subsequent meetings will be on YouTube. I believe you guys got value from this session. Like I said, you don't have to buy my course or have access to the replay. Everything I share with my VIP students, I also share it in during the live streams. Okay. But if you want to be taking the same trades I take, you want to be seeing having access to my daily market analysis, you have to join the VIP group. You want me to attend to all your trading questions, you have to be on the VIP group. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. I wish you all a profitable trading week. If you have any question, you can drop it on the WhatsApp group. If you are not on the WhatsApp group, send me a message on WhatsApp so that I can add you to the group. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do have a wonderful night.